All right, in order to bisect a segment, first thing you need to do is draw a segment. So you're going to take the flat side of your safety-based compass, make sure you have it facing up, not down, so that you can read the words. If you can't read the words, then you have it flipped the wrong way. So you're just going to take the flat side of your safety-based compass, and you're going to create a segment. About 2 inches long. Doesn't have to be perfectly 2 inches, just kind of randomly about 2 inches. And then you're going to create endpoints. Okay? We're going to call this segment AB. All right. Everybody got a segment on their paper? Anybody not have a segment on their paper? Okay, make sure you label it AB. All right, now you're going to take your metal circle and you're going to place it on the A endpoint. Okay. Then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to put it in the 50. From the 50, you're going to draw an arc that goes from, bless you, above the A to almost below the A. So it creates almost a semicircle. Okay. Right here, we're going to write that we used 50 millimeters. Okay. If you used some other number, that's fine. Just write what it is. It's important that you know what number you used right here, because when we go over to B, we need to use the same number. Okay, so now you're going to take your metal hole and you're going to stick it on the endpoint B. And you're going to put your pencil in the same number. So if you used 50 like I did, you're going to use 50 again. You're going to create an arc going the other direction so that they intersect above and below right here. And write down that you used 50 millimeters. Okay? These two numbers need to match. Can you use a different number? Sure. You could use 35 and 35 millimeters as long as they're the same. And as long as they cross. If you picked a really small number, like 10 or 12, they might not be long enough to intersect. See how they intersect right here and right here? Okay? That creates point C up top and point D down below. So label your two intersections as C and D. All right. Now you're going to take the flat side of your safety-based compass and you're going to line it up so that it's just touching C and D, and you're going to draw a line. Put little arrows on both ends. That line intersects that segment AB right in the middle here at point E. Okay. So as not to become some other sort of lines or whatever, we're just going to erase a little bit close the arc that we did right here and the arc that we did right here. Okay. Because those two intersections aren't as important as intersection E. Okay? So what happens with the construction that we just did is that AB, segment AB, so write this down at the bottom. Let me turn off that light. That help a little? Cuts out the glare a little bit. Okay. So AB bisects, or is bisected, bisected by the line CD. That means that the point E is the midpoint of the segment AB. Okay? Not only that, but AE is going to be congruent to BE. We can even put those little tick marks, tick mark here and a tick mark here, showing that this segment is congruent to this segment. Any questions on bisecting a segment? Anybody need help with the constructions? Okay, I'll come. Okay. All right, flip it over to the front. On the front today, we're going to complete the copy a segment. Okay? You're not going to believe how easy this one is after the one we just did. Okay? It's very, very simple, and sometimes so simple that people have a hard time remembering how to do it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a segment. I draw it about 1.5 inches long. And you're going to label the endpoints A, B. Then you're going to draw a second segment, but you're going to make it a little bit longer. So go down about 1 inch and draw a second segment and make it longer than your first segment. Okay. We're going to start by calling the left endpoint, just make it into an endpoint, A prime. A prime just means that it's a copy of A. So this A, we're going to copy down to this A. We just made it right at the end. But technically, you could make it anywhere along that line. Okay? Now, to get B prime, which is going to be a copy of the B, we need to measure. Okay? So we're not just going to use the ruler. We have to actually use the compass part of the safety-based compass. So we're going to take the metal hole and we're going to stick it over the A, not the A prime, just the A, and then we're going to adjust the compass until the hole, or the point, appears through one of the holes. So mine appears through 41 millimeters. Is yours going to appear in 41 millimeters? Probably not. Yours will probably be something else because I had you all randomly draw a segment, right? So you're going to just adjust. See how the point right there is not in any hole? You keep adjusting, trying to figure out what hole it goes through. When you find out what that is, write down the number. Mine was 41. Okay? If you made your segment about 1.5 inches long, I'm going to guess somewhere between 30 and 50. If you made your segment huge, it's going to be a larger number. Okay? If you made it super small, it's going to be a smaller number. Okay? But if you made it about 1.5 inches long, it should be somewhere between 30 and 50. Write it down and give it a circle. Okay? Everybody got their magic number? Okay. Now you're going to move your metal hole down to A prime. You're going to take your pencil and you're going to look at your magic number. Mine's 41. You're going to put it pretty close to your segment and you're going to make a little arc. Just a little arc like this. Go up and down a couple times. Okay? To it so that it intersects on that segment. Guess what that becomes? B prime. There's your B prime. And that's all you have to do to copy a segment.